my gosh, good morning. Hi. Welcome back to another stunning episode of Hey Girl. Hi. I'm Jordan. I never say my name at the beginning of the episodes. I should. And I'm going to get better at that. This is your moment to also rate and review this podcast. Give me 5 stars. Write a nice review. Lie if you have to. Honestly, I've reached a point where you can say pretty much whatever you want in the review thing. As long as you give me 5 stars, you don't say anything that's going to get flagged. What'd you call me? No, just write something, you know. Maybe I'll start reading nice reviews that people leave. I'll start the episodes by doing that. Maybe that'll be like a thing that I add to my little production outline because she's a diva with a production outline. Also, you can call me at 424-431-1456 and leave a voicemail. I would love if you could just like say something really seductuous, tell me a naughty story, confess a secret. You can ask me for advice. I'm really bad at giving it, which is way more fun than people who know what they're talking about, right? I'm qualified for certain things. But those will eventually be listened to and responded to by myself and my guest in future episodes. Eventually. But, oh my god, it's spooky season. Do you know what that means for me? I'm going to tell you what that means for me. Previously, I have been that person who hates the holidays. And it is because for the last 12 years of my life, since I was literally 18 years old, I've always worked in retail. And people who work in retail have a lot of reasons to hate the holidays because people suck and it's not fun when everyone else is experiencing the holidays and you are working under the worst conditions imaginable. This is my first year not working in a sort of customer service environment. So this is the first time I'm actually seeing the holidays and experiencing them as an adult. So I'm, dare I say, looking forward to it. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've always hated the Honda days, especially this time of year. I feel like as drag queens, we're expected to like do something exciting for Halloween. But bitch, when you do drag, you dress up for money. You dress up to pay your bills. The last thing I want to do is dress up to go to your house and sit there with your snooty friends. Last year, I went to a Halloween party at my friend's house, friend of the pod, Rylan, episode number 50. I went to his house for Halloween, and the girls thought I was going to turn a look because I said I would. I showed up as a sheet ghost, bitch. And I said, I dare any one of these homosexuals to demand more of me. You're going to get a Venmo request, bitch. How about that? I was, and I posted pictures too. I was all over his front yard taking pictures, baby, in my little sheet ghost fantasy. So you can expect the same level of effort this year as well, I think. Maybe I will dress up as a sad, depressed homosexual with an undiagnosed anxiety disorder. Oh my god, look, I'm ready. Makeup tutorial dropping soon. Anyway, happy Halloween or whatever the fuck. I don't care. I'm here with Karma Spice. Hi, Karma Spice.
Oh my god, hi, hello.
Do you fuck with the Halloweenies? Are you a spooky girl?
I'm so glad you asked me because listen, I'm a huge fan of Halloween and horror,
Oh,
but again, this year I'm just like, I'm tired. I am tired. I'm not getting any younger or cuter. So I'm
same.
like, my thing is, do you know how much money we spend on looks and makeup
Ugh.
and hair and we get dressed up? Like that is our Halloween already. So you're telling me I also have to get together these spooky numbers, and I'm not a spooky girl.
Mm-mm.
Okay, listen, if I need to, I'll do it, but that's not like the karma persona. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So now you gotta add like, okay, be like a Halloween costume too. I'm like, and of course I don't want to half-ass it. I don't want to be like a ghost at some party. No,
I
I'm kidding.
mean, I wouldn't even give
But
myself half an ass. That wasn't even an entire cheek.
just is just a little slight little
It
sliver.
was. a white piece of fabric I found
Honestly, work. Did you
the
cinch a
night of.
little? Did you put a belt on it?
Hell no. Nope. Couldn't be bothered.
Wait, can you imagine someone dresses up as a ghost, but it's like the most dragged out version, like big boobs, huge silhouette, like cinched waist, but it's like also ghost? That'd be kind of cunt.
I need Jimbo to get on this with that giant Z cup.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically already done it with her baloney talent show look. So you're
Oh
already halfway
yeah.
there.
Wait, I'm gonna find the
Oh,
picture of my sheet ghost so you can see the
I need to see
the
this.
the wonder that is the sheet ghost.
Hmm.
Last year I was a fart. Like I did like
No.
yes. So technically this was like the only time I made an effort for Halloween.
Oh wait, no, I
I was a
love
fart.
that. That's so good.
Um but this was my sheet ghost fantasy.
Wait, why do I love that so much?
I
It's
did
giving
wear the
the
boots.
thigh. Okay, we live the thigh high hooker boots. Can we talk about the boots? Because every I'm scared.
Jump scare.
No,
Yes,
those
love a
boots
boot.
are so iconic. I don't I need to own a pair of those boots because every girl, have you ever noticed this? It's like a drag staple. The
Yes.
black thigh high leather boot. And then some girls, they'll put on an outfit, they'll put on their hair, they'll do the makeup. I'm like, okay, I see it. You know, the bodysuit, the dance number. And then it's always the black leather, like thigh high dance boot. And like I'm fine with that, but sometimes I notice that like, is it a cop out because that's the only shoe they own? Because it's like
Yes.
it does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always want to assume the best in people. I don't know why, especially with like younger drag entertainers. Just I always really hope for the best. Like when I started off, I was like, you know what? I have to come out with these looks and I have to show people who I am, and I want people to know my name, and I want to stand out. So let me like really think of these looks head to toe, the accessories, like what my number is going to be, what's going to look best. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that in their first year in drag, and I get it. Drag's hard.
Yeah, it's a lot. But
It's not easy.
the pleaser boot is totally a drag staple.
Yeah, yes.
And I realized one, the girls who dance, so not me, it's easy to dance in, but they're also really easy to walk in because the heels are designed in a way that they're not really long, but they look long because they're sort of like angled.
We love a good angle.
Yeah, so they're super
Yes.
comfortable to wear for a long time. And if you know how to sew, you can use it to make a pattern and you can make boot covers and just switch out the boot covers and wear the same boot.
See, that's smart, but I don't know how to sew. So, and listen, can we just talk about sewing for 2 seconds?
Oh no.
Because
Oh no. Speaking of Halloween,
speaking of Halloween, like
arts and
people really,
crafts.
I mean, yeah, there's the arts and crafts style. There's these people that sew these looks, and like people go to the fabric store and they get everything, and then like they put it all together, and their idea comes to life. And I love that. However, I'm creative in other ways. Like I love doing creative makeup. I like doing creative numbers. Like I just think it's drag queens are held to a high standard when you tell people you can't sew. It's like,
Oh yeah.
especially Drag Race, like has definitely like told people that like, oh, you can't sew, you suck. And it's like, I don't. I mean, with nowadays, like sewing and getting costumes is so different. Like commissioning designers, and we have the internet, and like there's so many pieces you can pull together without having to be a sewer. So it's so weird that like, yeah, we're on what 16 seasons of Drag Race, um, well 15, 16's coming out soon. uh, no, I'm not on it. No, don't worry.
Oh, I
But
was
it's
gonna
like,
ask.
no, don't worry. The people they're like, oh my god, I can't believe you can't sew. Have you not watched the show? And it's like, okay, yes, we know that it's coming up. Yes, it's iconic that people turn out looks that people can sew. But if you really think about it, it's like, does that person who doesn't sew every single one of their looks from the start of their drag till now, like they clearly have been fine without sewing.
Yeah, they
You know
made
what I'm
it this
saying?
far. They
They've been
got to
booked,
the
they've been
show.
busy. So just a thought, just a thought. I'm not saying give these people like grace or give them a fucking hall pass, but like, can we be for real for 2 seconds with sewing?
I mean, it is my favorite part of every season. The girls who are like, "Oh my
No, I
god,
love it.
I didn't expect this." I'm
I
like,
love it. I
"It's
listen.
come
I
on."
thrive in the chaos of any competition. Is what I love. I love watching competition shows, and when people are like really in the weeds and there's this narrative of like, oh no, they're gonna do so terrible. It's like one of two ways. Either it is terrible and it's awful and it's a train wreck and you love it. You're like, yes, it's everything I want it to be. Awful. But then sometimes you're like, wait, they kind of turned it out. Like
Yeah.
this underdog moment if you're rooting for somebody. So
It's that
I kind of love that.
misdirect.
Yeah, it's like you really think that like they're setting this person up to be like, oh, they're out, they're eliminated, we won't see them, and then they turn it out, and I love that. Would that
Yeah.
happen for me? I don't know. Who's to say? But again, I think another thing that comes into sewing is style because you could be a really great sewer, but you got no style. What are we doing here?
That's the tea.
Can't buy style.
If you know how to style something, you could take a square piece of fabric and wrap it around your body and pin that shit and here and there and it'll look
You're good
stunning.
to go. Well, for
Yeah.
some girls, but
Shimmer the girls.
mm,
There are tutorials on YouTube of how to make dresses without sewing.
oh,
Like
work.
I followed this girl who does all these like arts and crafts sewing things, and she has this video that I think it has like over 1 million views. It has to. But she takes like a 2 yard stretch of sequin fabric and she goes, I'm gonna show you how to make a draped gown without sewing. And
Ah,
she you grab the corner of the fabric, you put it right here, you wrap it around, you
very
pin it
toga.
here, bring it down, pin it at the waist, tighten the other side, pin it there, and it looks beautiful.
Ah,
And she wore it to a party and she vlogged the whole
innovation.
party. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are
Wow.
ways.
See, I'm a big believer of like fake it till you make it.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
that's what I'm doing.
I was gonna say, I was like, some of
Why
us are
my
just good at,
forehead?
but some of
Oh
us
my
are
god.
just better at it than others, you know?
My forehead looks so big when I don't have eyebrows. Like,
Oh, wow.
what is this?
But like, you need all that space because the way you draw your eyebrows, I love it. I
Oh
love
my
the
god.
way my
They're
favorite
like,
part when I see you do your makeup. No, no, you don't understand. Like, it's like therapeutic. I've been watching makeup tutorials for like
oh, I
over 10
love
years.
it.
And when you draw your brow on, right? I'm like, okay, whoa, calm down. Okay. And I'm
It's a
like, where
lot.
is this going? You know? And I always forget that it's like, okay, it's drag, it's big, it's whatever. Everyone has different faces and everyone has different, whatever. But when you put the concealer underneath the brow and you do that, you drag it up. That's my favorite part when
uh,
you do that. And like, it's like, oh,
isn't
yes.
that so satisfying?
It is because it's like, yes, carve it out. And then you blend out the concealer and then you're like, oh, now I see the eye shape. Now I see what she's doing.
And then from a distance, like I get to 0. That's my like the halfway point of the face. When I finish the brows, and I look at myself and I'm like, oh my god, I'm fresh face, no
Ready to
makeup.
go.
My
I just
eyebrows
look
like.
like this. I'm so jealous of the girls that either can shave their brows. Like I don't get it. I don't know how. I can't
Really?
do it. I can't do it. This
I do
for
the
me.
tattoos.
Well, the tattoos are amazing. That's what I'm saying. Like if you, but the way people shave their brows and pull it off, like I don't know how you're doing it right now. I'm like I just cannot see myself like that. So
I
how
think you
did
just have to
you?
like give up on yourself a little bit. You have to give up on ever being fuckable ever again, and then you're ready to go.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about being fuckable. Okay, so drag and fuckability, it's a thing, right?
Unfortunately.
So I, as Karma's a virgin. She's never done that.
Well, you're like a born
She's
again virgin too, aren't
no,
you?
oh yeah, exactly. As a boy as well, I'm very. I'm not going to say the word celibate, but people like to call me a tease. They can call me whatever they want, but at the end of the day, I'm just so unfortunately not blessed with having a high libido. So I'm just like I'm chilling. I'm just chilling, right? So then when people see Karma, they're like, oh, she's like sex.
Yeah.
She's and the way I perform too is people are like, oh, she probably fucks. Oh, she
She
fucks.
fucks.
She
She
doesn't fuck.
tops.
Just let everybody know she don't fuck. Okay. And I feel so bad. Like a lot of these like straight men that go to WeHo and they'll come up to me and be like, hey baby, like what's your name? And I'm just like, no. Or there's a couple people of our community, our alphabet mafia.
Not the limp
Also, I'm
wrist.
like, here's the thing I'm confused about. Like, I'm very secure as a boy and like going out trying to get some as a boy. But
Right.
when I'm dressed in full drag head to toe, I'm like, my full body is shaved. I have nails on, like wig, everything. I'm like, I look
Oh
like a
yeah.
completely different person. And what you're going after right now, I'm like, I just don't know how to, what are we doing here?
I would feel so awkward if I was to like attempt to have like a hookup in drag. I would be
Right.
like just imagining what the other person sees, and it
A
would
lot
just
of
be like
tape holding this
my
together, babe.
face and then my legs up, and I'm just like
With your brows just like
I
having a
mean,
great time.
Girl, jump scare.
Jump scare.
Jump scare the sequel.
And like, here's the thing: as much as I like appreciate the compliments that I get when I'm like in drag, and people are like, "Oh my god, you're so hot, you're so pretty, you're so sexy, you're so gorgeous," and part of me is like, "Yes, more of that. Feed my ego."
Yeah.
But then when someone kind of crosses that line, it's so weird to me because it's like I don't know how to navigate this. Because if I was a boy in the situation, I'd be like, "Oh, sweet," like we're either like we're gonna do this if I'm feeling it, we're doing it, or I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm I'm good. Like I'm just gonna go meet my friends or bye, it was nice to meet you and kind of just go on." But when I'm karma, I'm genuinely just shocked. Shocked. I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
like, what are we? What is this? What are we doing here? You
It
know?
never like it never happens to me, but I think about it quite often. I always ask queens about like the sexual side of drag because we do kind of get fetishized. Not me, apparently, but some of you girls are desired. But like I feel like if I were in that situation the whole time I'd just be like, baby, this is Terrifier 2, what you're about to do. This is this is it, the clown in the bed.
It's the
You don't want
clown.
this. You don't want this. You don't
I mean,
need
but
this.
I'm all about fetishes and all about like kinks. I'm like pro whatever you're doing as long as you're not hurting anybody. But I don't know. I'm so vanilla. I'm like I blame the white side of me. Like I just don't have anything. I'm just good at sex. So that's why I just do it. And some people are like, well, maybe someone just hasn't showed you. No, I've done it, girl. I've done
Well,
it.
when you reach a certain age, I'm in my 30s, so like,
See you there next year, girl.
oh, it's you know what they say it's all downhill, but I choose to believe that I haven't peaked yet.
Oh, so you're living in that delusion of like, oh, what do
Mhm.
you mean? I'm still on the upward trajectory.
Yeah, I haven't hit my sexual prime.
Oh wow, I love that. People do say that like the older you get, like the more like you know fluid and
It's true.
expansionist. I don't know the word I'm looking
You're
for.
like your sexuality grows and evolves as you get older.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I'm wondering like, will that happen for me?
it
'Cause
has to.
I'm sitting here like, damn, I haven't done anything for like 2 years. I like to say I'm busy. That's what I tell
Right.
people. People are like, I was like, oh, well, why haven't you? And I'm like, I'm just busy.
I'm
And
just
like,
busy
yeah,
dissociating at home.
life is busy. But you know, my issue, what I keep running into is I live right here in the center of WeHo. I walk to my gigs. I live like a block away. Like
Ugh.
that's how I'm in it, you know. And I worked really hard to like get here. But you would think, oh, that's the perfect place to like hook up and have people over. And I'm like, no, I have not had a man in my house. I want a man inside of me, not in my business. I don't want a man in my house. It's
Oh, so
different, you know?
she's into the public.
No, no. Well, here's the thing: is like my thing is like, all right, as a bottom, why am I also douching and hosting you into my apartment? Like I'm doing everything, and all you have to do is just show up to my place. And I'm like, no. What if I want you to leave? That's why I like to go to their place and like travel. But the issue is a lot of
Interesting.
how are you a top and you don't host? Like I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean, I prefer to have them come to me because I don't want to drive places and deal with parking or like have to Uber or
Well, I
anything.
don't drive, so I get it.
And I also don't, if I lived in WeHo and I was close enough, I don't know that I would feel comfortable doing all the preparations and then walking outside however many blocks
Mhm.
and potentially working up a sweat.
That's half the fun.
Ugh, the stew.
It's cooking. You're just getting it ready
Mm,
for them. It's the
mm,
meal. It's the
the
appetizer.
flavor.
The flavor. There we go. They
The
don't call me
meme.
Karma Spice for
Oh my
nothing.
god, that's where the
That's where the
spice comes
spice
from.
comes
Okay.
exactly.
Like the meme of that lady who opens the pot and she goes, yes,
Mm.
indeed.
Oh,
And the gays took it and said when he gets home from the gym.
yes, yes. Oh,
Disgusting.
speaking of gym, I've been going to the gym for years. I'm a fitness girl. A lot of
Yeah,
people know that about
same.
me. I'm a big cardio girl. I've never ever met anyone at the gym. I've never done anything at the gym. And I go to predominantly gay gyms. I go to one of the gays gyms.
Interesting.
And
Same.
again, it's just like this kind of like not fear, but this like, oh no, I know people here, and I know like what people think, and I've kind of lived in that world the last 2 years between like drag and outside of drag of being like, oh no, like so and so is gonna tell so and so that I hooked up with so and so. I'm like, why? Why do I care? I
Yeah.
don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be no one's business. But I have that in the back of my head that kind of stops me from wanting to act on my urges, if you will.
Yeah, I see a lot of that because I live sort of like away from West Hollywood,
Smart.
and it's a smaller community,
Hmm.
so all of the gays know each other.
I love that.
We've all slept together. So
Oh,
my friend
just sharing.
yeah. So sometimes like when I go to a social gathering
Right.
with gays, if I know there's gonna be more than like five gays there, I'm going to run into somebody that I've slept with.
Oh wow, I love that.
And sometimes there's multiple people. Sometimes a, a guy will say, "Oh, I'm bringing my friend," and then they both show up, and I'm like, "Great, I've hooked up with both of you at different times." Fierce. And sometimes I'll see them
How do
at the
you
gym.
navigate that? You're at the party, you're just like trying to have a good time, and then that happens. Like, I know you. Like,
I
I've
just
seen
say
you
hi.
perform. I know you're just like you're really social and like good at like. To me, I think you're a great improver.
She fakes it. It's all a lie.
Right. Oh, yeah, again, fake it till you
It's
make
always
it.
a lie.
Like, oh, girl, everything I'm selling is a lie. I love lying. Lying is so fun. I mean,
Well,
that's
I
why I'm an
mean,
actor.
we're theater kids. We're professional
Absolutely.
liars. That's
Like
what we do.
I was like, I want to my full time job. I would love for it to be a different person. Not because I hate myself. It was more because it's like it's so fun. You could be anybody. You could
Yeah. I
literally
mean,
be.
well, mine is because I hate myself, but
Oh, right. I mean, everyone has their journey, and you know what? We're there at the same time. We're doing the
yeah.
same thing. So it's like the reason why I really finally decided to start drag, I did it for years because of, who would date me? Oh, like
Yeah.
that like internalized homophobia of like hiding my femininity and that shame. Because I grew up, I have like brothers and siblings, and I grew up straight, quote unquote. But
Yeah.
I was just yeah, no, listen. I always attributed my femininity and my flair and my isms, if you will, to like just being a theater kid. So I was never this like flamboyant and fabulous as far as like the way I am now, but to a degree, I've always just been like, oh, I've always just been outgoing and fun because that's Connor. Woo, 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 I dance for you, yeah. You
Not
know?
not the legal name, not the government
Oh,
name.
if any
Not
of y'all
this.
see me and y'all call me that in public, I'm gonna be like, who told you? Who told you?
Oh, just wait till you're out somewhere and somebody comes up to you and like mentions something that you said on here and you're gonna be like, I don't remember saying that. That's so stupid. I would never say
Oh,
something like that.
but here's the thing. No, I remember everything.
I
I
don't.
promise you. No, 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 no. I'm so jealous of people that forget things. I'm the person, I will meet you. I will remember where I met you, what day it was, like what we talked about. And it's like kind of like borderline psycho because how good my memory is. And then people will look at me like, oh, so you're clinically insane because you remember all of that. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, my brain just works differently. I'm built different.
She
Um,
built different. BMW.
yeah.
Body
So
wait,
so
body made
I
wrong.
body made wrong. Body made very wrong. That's why you gotta cinch it, corset, tape it, tuck it,
mm.
flip it, fold it, shade it. Ooh.
I think my
Yeah.
Bop It had those sayings on it when I was a kid.
Now I'm a human boppet.
The goals.
Just girly things.
Girly ting. Just being like, girly pops. It's,
Casual.
it's my favorite Gen Z thing to say. I'm still thinking about the word sower and why sewer and sower are the same.
Sower, like you're a sower, someone who
Like
sows.
sewing and then sewer.
So, oh, are they spelled the same?
They're spelled the same.
Oh wow, a sower and the sewer. God, the English language is a mess. I feel so sorry for people that have to learn it. That's
Oh
not
my
their native
god.
language.
Yeah, well, it is allegedly so Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, because there's different dialects of Chinese,
Right,
and English are the two
the
most
hardest.
difficult languages,
Yeah,
but
I
they're the
get
most
it.
widely spoken.
I don't get that. I get it, but I also don't get it.
Well, English is more widely spoken because of, I think, economics and the global economy between the United States and the other speaking countries. We sort of dominate.
Oh, we're
So
not going to talk
people,
about the imperial westernization and all that.
mm,
I'm sorry. That's for another day.
I did a gig with her once at 340. We don't have to talk about it.
Honestly,
Miss
work.
Imperial colonization.
Oh, work.
But also, I think Chinese is widely spoken because of their population density. It's so
Right,
high
right. It's
that
wild
it
to
could
me.
only be spoken in their country and it will still be the dominant language in the world
Oh,
because of their
wow. We
population.
love dominant.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
not this. Not this. Wait.
You know what's always so funny? I always have a way to like that fucked up. Like in my head, like I find the dirty in everything, and I'm like, that's so funny for somebody who's not like very active, and
Yeah.
always think that
I
way
do
or
you ever
present myself a certain way.
well do you ever find yourself around straight people and you say something like that and they just look at you? And I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh, you guys are boring. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot. Okay, I'm
I forgot you
sorry."
guys are like just do missionary with one person for the rest of your life unless you cheat.
Yeah. They'll be like,
Um,
"Wow, we did two positions last night. We're such
We're
freaks."
so
I'm like,
quirky.
"Babe,
And you know
no."
what's weird about that is I love that straight people always love to project that like the gay lifestyle is this like horrible thing. And, but they're the ones that will literally cheat on their partners. It's like we're over here. We figured out open relationships. Like we were the ones that we got it down. So I don't ever hear of straight people with open relationships. So instead they go out and they cheat. And
It's true.
listen, I will help someone's father leave their wife. Okay, I'm not going to be your new stepmom, but I will turn him out and we'll have a good time. I love dads. They're so
You
fun.
know, I so the first time I ever had sexual intercourse, it was
Mm.
when I was like I think I was like 19. I was like a late bloomer.
Oh wow, I'm
And
21 here, so
oh, okay, so the
yeah,
struggle.
very late.
So, and I only really did it because nobody would date me because I was a virgin.
Same.
It's a thing. So
Yeah.
I just got it over with.
Yep.
And it happened to be with this guy who um says he's straight. I don't know. This
Allegedly.
was years ago. And so
Allegedly.
he and I like we hooked up and then we would sort of run into each other and hook up like, over the course of the next few years. And then recently I opened up my Sniffies app and I get a message with a picture and I was like, "Oh wow, this
Know
dingaling is."
that?
It was just the penis. And I thought, "Wow,
Right.
that's a pretty penis." I didn't think anything of it. So I respond
Right.
with a face picture because I'm not a sociopath.
Which
And
is yeah.
girl, and he goes, "Jordan?" question mark. And I'm like, "I only see the penis and nothing else." So
And you know my name.
I'm like, "Who's this?" cuz I don't know his name. I still don't know
Right.
his
You just
name.
you know the penis.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like I was you were a virgin when I met you. We like hooked up." And I was just like, "Oh my god, you're still out here straight DL. It's been like 11 years and he's still up to the same shit. Still has a girlfriend, still trying to hook up with boys. 11 years. Isn't that wild to be in denial and then actively
Yeah.
participating in the
You
lifestyle?"
know what's frustrating about that to me is that you get all the benefits of being straight, not having to worry about your rights being like voted against or taken away or being like, hate
Yes.
crimes, etc. But then you get to have your DL fun. And listen, I'm not saying DL dick isn't good. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm
It's
just
some of
saying
the
that
best
like
dick in the world.
that's what I'm saying. Again, yeah. So it's like something about the fantasy and the secrecy kind of does sell that kind of like, ooh, we're not supposed to do this. But also at the same time, like this person is sadly living this lie. So it's like part of me obviously feels bad for them, but also like one day they're either gonna have to like accept who they are and really just kind of like come to terms with it, come out and live that lifestyle, their true gay self, or they can just live their life a whole lie and then they. I always feel bad for people that like marry a woman and then they have kids and then they don't come out to their 40s and 50s and then they're kind of like they have to come out and figure it all out so late. It's just like
Yeah.
so sad
It
to me.
it's like a second adolescence they have to go through.
Yeah, and it's like how are we in 2023 and like we're still going through that and people are still and a lot of the reason is family. Like I personally am not close to anyone in my family and it has nothing to do with being gay, surprisingly, but
Like I just don't like them.
right. No, they just don't like me actually. No.
Ugh.
uh but the sad reality is a lot of people seek approval from their family for anything, like especially drag. Like some people will not do drag because, oh, well, my family won't like it, or my family, we don't talk about being gay. And it's like people are like, these are grown adults that have lived on their own, don't live at home.
Yeah.
They seek the approval of their parents so much and it holds them back from like living their true, happy, authentic lives. And I'm like that could never be me. I've been out
No.
my own for maybe 10 years. Actually, 10 years yesterday. 10 years yesterday. I've been on my own.
Oh
I
my
know. Wow. I
god.
know. Holy crap. Anniversaries come up fast. Yeah, I've been on my own. I love yeah, the way I was raised and whatever. But I got to the point when I left, I was like, nothing I do from this point forward, my parents will have no influence on. I've always
Yeah.
kind of been like, gay, straight, drag queen or not, like I'm going to do what makes me happy. And as long as I'm not hurting other people, I'm a good person. And that's kind of why my name is Karma, is because I truly think that, like, there is some kind of karmic justice that happens to bad people. Um, and then good people, I don't say that good things happen to them. I just think that not as bad things happen to them.
Yeah,
I'm also a pessimist. Because if you look around the world, just like it's kind of shitty, you know?
it really is.
You really think about it, like things have just been. You say you're going uphill while the world is going downhill, you know?
Yeah, I think often like, oh, I hope I'm dead before it gets really bad.
Honestly,
But you
same.
know,
But when is really bad? Like, what's really bad to you? Because to me, I'm like, I remember in 2017 when my coffee used to cost $2, and I used to get like 2 weeks worth of groceries for $30, and my rent was
oh yeah.
$1,000. But what has changed since I've moved to Los Angeles in 6 years? Pain and misery.
I think really bad is economy gets even worse,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say like equality and the political spectrum gets even worse.
Right. Oh, which
And
is so fascinating to me. How? How is it getting worse?
we didn't think that 2016 would happen, and then it did, and then it
Girl.
got worse and worse and worse. And now it's slightly better, but it's still a little crazy.
Well, it's
But
just for me, I think the issue is always the possibility of it always getting worse is kind of what always baffles me. Like
yeah,
once it gets worse and it happens, it's like, well, we got here. I told you. But it's the possibility of like what could happen in this next election. Like if somehow that thing gets to run again and gets to win, and somehow, I don't know how, then things just go off the rails again. And it's just kind of like, we told you, exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J,
yeah,
K, L, M, N, O, P, what he's done, and people still are just this undying loyalty. Like they're in a cult. Most people are in a cult.
it is weird.
So it's really
They
weird.
like have flags of him shirtless, but like really muscular, ripping
And it's
his
like,
shirt off.
when has he ever in his life looked like that? Ever. Never. Literally never.
Ooh,
And people were
ooh.
just like, oh my God, he's so hot. What?
And it's like
Anyway.
straight guys.
And they say drag queens are delusional. Those people, they live in a different reality.
It is truly wild.
They live
But
in
you
a
know
different
what?
reality of alternative facts, of alternative everything. And it's just like,
You know
I
what's not an alternative fact?
tell me.
The fact that we are at the halfway point,
Oh my goodness, that is not an alternative
and
fact.
it is time to take a break. Can you believe that?
I can
Everybody,
actually. I talk a
wow.
lot.
It does go by really fast. I always say, it. You blink and it's over. Period.
But not in the
So
bedroom. What?
what? I
What?
mean, yeah, maybe. You want to make a sex tape, baby? More
When
like a
you get
TikTok.
got
A
that gorilla
Vine.
grip.
Ooh,
A
you know
vine.
what?
6 seconds.
A Vine. I aged myself with that one. But
Oh.
it's fine. We'll be right back with Karma Spice. Audience, don't go anywhere. Hi, and welcome to the ASMR ad break. This is the soothing sound of you giving this podcast a nice review and a 5-star rating. This is you doing the same 5-star rating with a full set of acrylics. And now, here's the sensuous sound of you sharing this podcast with all of your friends. Now, here's the sound of you sharing this podcast with all your friends with a fresh set of acrylic nails. Wasn't that nice? Feel free to try it for yourself after this episode. Now back to the show. Good morning, babes. Welcome back to part two. That's so bad. You know
No,
what?
you were so good before.
It was so good before. I
I've
get
heard that before.
nervous.
Okay.
You know what? I was just in Hawaii,
Oh,
and there were so many Australian people there. And every time we heard like an Australian accent, I'd go, Joy, they're my people. Do you think they know me? Do you think they know Vanity? Because I know Vanity from
screaming.
Australia.
Yeah, of course.
She's like the only drag queen that I like know from Australia. I'm like, oh my
International
god,
girly.
do you think they know Vanity?
So they know her, that means they know me, my second
Yeah,
degree, because we're
yeah,
basically cousins.
allegedly. She doesn't know that.
Right.
Every time we'd hear an Australian accent, I'd be like, oh my god, wait, do you think they know that I'm from Sydney?
Tweet it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Okay. And he'd be like, "Could you shut the fuck up? And we're
I
gonna
love
get
it.
tacos.
I
Shut up."
love it. Oh, I love.
Oh my
I am one of those
gosh.
people that like I hear an accent and like I instantly want to imitate it, and not in like
Yeah.
a disrespectful way, but it's just like that coded like that's so pleasing to my ear, and how I want to
Yeah.
imitate it. I can't get it out of my head. I talk in a
Well,
British accent all the time, just because
oh
I'm
yeah.
stupid. I can't help it.
I I just didn't realize because there were so many Australian people when I was in Hawaii. I didn't realize, and this is gonna sound so stupid. I didn't realize how close Hawaii and Australia are.
But no, the flight is still ridiculous.
It's like an 11-hour flight,
Yeah, and if
but
they're that
you
close,
know,
what's the what? I don't get
well,
it.
it's because on the map when they teach it to you in school, I'm gonna sound
They
like such a
think
dumb
it's
bitch.
right there, but it's really not.
Well, the map is laid flat,
Yeah.
so it looks like they couldn't be
Wait,
further.
are you telling me the Earth isn't flat? What?
You know what? Plot twist.
Everything I
You've
know is a lie.
I have never been gagged like this, but
Ooh,
because it's flat, it's not flat. It's round, so they're actually like
yeah,
close.
yeah.
Bitch.
I've seen a globe.
I'm not interested.
Oh my gosh.
But I guess we should talk about your drag experience.
Like my journey, like
Your
how I got on
journey.
here. Do you want the
So,
television version or the podcast version?
well, I mean, whatever is the most exciting for you to tell, because I met you
It's
at
not.
beaches, but
Yeah,
you weren't doing drag.
no, at all. It was like that was the summer before I started even doing drag.
And I remember I told my boyfriend, I was like, Jose, she needs to be doing drag.
Oh, I remember this. It was I remember it was at beaches. I was serving. It was a brunch. And
You
I
were
remember this
serving.
conversation. I told you, I remember everything. I was serving,
Oh,
like
that's
always.
right. Yes, it is.
And literally, it's so funny because I remember that exact interaction a lot when I think about like why I started drag. That pops up to me because I'm like, I've had so many people in my life tell me that I should do drag. And I was kind of like, no, no, because I started off doing makeup. I was a makeup artist back in Chicago. I did freelance makeup work. And then I've always been a heels dancer. So it's like, okay, I have the makeup
Oh,
and I have the
yeah.
heels. But the disconnect for me was like the outfits and the wig. And I was like, I'm just not a woman. I drag, that's like too gay. I'm gay, but I'm not that gay. And I would justify not doing it for years. I wanted to do drag when I was 20. Like, I was like, oh, I can like
Oh,
get ready when I'm 21 and I'll hit the clubs and I'll be like that girl. Good thing that never happened because I have a picture of me from what almost 10 years ago when I tried to do drag. I put that away, shoved it in a box, never looked at it. But then when I had a lot of people in the community tell me that I should do drag, and I'm like, drag queens don't want other people to do drag. They don't want competition, and they don't want just another young skinny drag queen who thinks she can do drag because everyone thinks they can do drag. Everyone does. Everyone
yeah.
thinks they can win drag race. But here's the thing: is like, are you entertaining? Are you like, what do you have to offer to the world of drag that makes you fun, exciting, different, that like all these other girls aren't doing tomorrow, you know?
Tea.
So basically, I was working at brunch out here in WeHo, and I would see some of the girls they would book, and no shade, but kind of
Yeah.
them not giving and delivering. And I get it, like you have to get like brunch drag's different. You have to wake up earlier and get ready. You're painting for the daytime. Like there's some
Yeah.
grace when it comes to that. But some of these girls, I think really what killed me, and when I was sitting there watching them when I was serving tables and not performing,
Serving.
I was like,
Serving.
yeah, I was annoyed because I was like, I should be serving the fucking audience because like I've been performing my whole life. And I'm like, to me, energy. Like, know the words, energy. Like, as a lover of
Yeah.
like entertainment and like drag before even doing drag, I at least know, like, give me energy. And sometimes they would book these girls, not all the time, sometimes, and I'm not gonna say names. This is like 2 years ago, mind you. I'm like, I could do that. And then, so I'm sitting on it, sitting on it, sitting on it, and not in a good way. Um,
Aw.
I know. So, as an actor, a lot of people say like, "Oh, if your acting career doesn't take off, then they turn into drag queens," and it's like that sort of happened to me in the sense that like I was like, well, in the meantime, might as well do drag so at least I can perform and have some creative outlet rather than nothing while I'm waiting for the industry to open it back up. So I started doing it, and when I came out day one of drag, I was like, I am not gonna look busted. That was my goal. I was like, I just want to look like I'm put together head to toe because a lot of my sisters that I've worked with before I started doing drag, I didn't want to disappoint them. And
Oh, I
then when
thought
I
you were gonna
came,
say that they were ugly.
no, 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 no. I mean, like, I don't want to read my
You're
sisters,
like, they are ugly. I wasn't gonna say it, but they were ugly.
but that's what the makeup's for. That's what the makeup's
Yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah. Fix
But also, a
the
lot
ugly
of them,
thing.
they're not ugly physically; they just have ugly hearts. So you
Yeah,
can't really
that's
see
a
them.
tough. You can't. That's hard to fix. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
So essentially, when I came out, I started drag on 2/2/2022. That's my official
Oh
drag
my
date.
God, February
I
2nd,
know. Yeah, Groundhog's
2022.
Day. So now I'm living in that endless cycle. So
Wow.
and it always shocks people when I tell them that I've only been doing drag for a year and a half because it's like people are like, well, you're so put together, you perform so well, you look so good every time I see you. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the way I want to present myself. I think that like my number one goal when I started drag was like there's a lot of established queens, there's a lot of drag race girls, and then there's a lot of new baby queens every single month. In LA, especially WeHo, you will see a new girl in drag every single month. And it's
Yeah.
like, you can't keep up. I started a year and a half ago now, and how many drag queens have popped up since then, and especially in WeHo? 100 at least.
Oh, but trust, a year and a half from now,
Yeah.
at least half of them will be gone.
Which is great. I love that. More people should quit drag.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm ready.
yeah, I don't listen. If I didn't have to do it, I would. I want to win the lottery and just like
Yeah,
be
I should
like,
have gotten a
sorry.
real job.
Yeah. Speaking of real jobs, I've been in the service industry for 10 years now, and
Oh, so
like,
you know.
yeah, I know. Even before I started doing drag, like I've worked in nightlife, and I've always been around, like gay people and drag queens. But now that I actually do it and I perform and I'm out in the clubs working my thing, it's like it's great and it's fulfilling and it's liberating. But the issue is because LA is so expensive, the there what how do you possibly be like, oh yeah, I'm a full-time drag queen? Like the people that get to do that have no idea how lucky they are that
Yeah.
they don't have to work these awful, horrible retail jobs or these like service industry jobs that really just like drain your soul. But girls gotta eat, bills gotta be paid. Well, I don't have to eat, I look skinny, but
Yeah, I don't
bills
think you
gotta be
eat.
paid. I
I eat,
know.
bitch.
So I love to eat.
She eats.
Oh, she ate. She ate. So that's kind of yeah. Oh my god, words are hard. Basically, to wrap it all up, karma basically started because it's something I've always wanted to do. It's this like glamorous version of myself, and I also just get to perform. And yeah, I just want to not be like grouped in with all the baby queens, all like the 2 monthers, 1 years,
Oh,
two
yeah.
years. And it's like, how do I separate myself and show people that yes, I am new to drag. I am a baby drag queen, quote unquote. But like, how do I convince people that I'm not? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I was in a similar situation because I was like a year into drag and I was starting to get paid things. But then I started to realize that girls would find out how long I've been doing drag and then they wouldn't want to pay me. So I just stopped telling people.
oh, I
So
love
maybe
that.
don't tell people how long you've been doing it. I mean, you
Well,
could say it
I
here.
can't. It's more like the shock factor that I love. People being like, oh, like they can't believe that I've been
Yeah,
doing
I
it
love
for a year
that
and a
too.
half. I know. That's why I'm like, oh my god, little
I
me. But
know,
like,
but it
it's
doesn't work for
hard.
me anymore because I've been doing it for like 6 years and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Well,
impressed. No
I
one's
mean,
impressed.
I feel that's how kind of I feel at this point too. It's like, yeah, a year and a half, and the hype around it, and my first year in drag was amazing. I had a great first year in drag, but now I'm on my way to year two, and less people go to the shows. Less people are inclined to want to see you. The hype around it isn't as like
Yeah.
OMG. So that part kind of sucks. And it's like you have to compete with the girls who are established and the drag race girls that come into town all the time because we are in WeHo and they're always constantly
Oh yeah,
here.
and they're always moving here
So they're
after
always
their
moving here too,
season.
just taking more gigs. And I'm over here like
Yeah.
ideal world, I get one night a week at least where I can host. But I'm like, what would I do? What would you do if you had a night every
Oh.
week? What would you do? I know your show would be fun.
I mean I love hosting. I prefer hosting to
Love
like
hosting.
anything else. But I think well, I just think it depends on where it is. If it's in WeHo, I know that there's like I feel like a really big lack of diversity in terms of like the
Yes.
types of entertainment that's out
Uh
there.
huh.
So I would be bringing like male performers. Like there's a whole pageantry system and scene of like hot guys in really great like fabulous outfits doing burlesque and lip sync numbers.
Yeah.
So we'd have boys, we'd have girls, we'd have kings.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
just
I'd
want to
have
book everybody.
fucking a stand-up comedian in the middle of it.
I
Like
love that. It's like a variety
yeah,
show.
it should feel like a full production and it should be arranged in a way that it's really fast paced and nothing is the same. So the whole time you're like, oh shit, I don't know what I just saw and I don't know what's happening next.
Right. No, I love that. Keep people on their toes for edge of their
Yeah.
seat.
And I just change
Uh,
outfits a lot
oh, that too.
because that's like my main skill. I just like change outfits. It's like my thing.
I love that.
I do a lot of bingos and I will randomly disappear for 5 minutes and come back in a new dress and be like, all right, are we ready for round three?
Wait,
Let,
that's kind of iconic. And
let's hear it
because
for the dress.
sometimes there's a night on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some girls will show up and they'll look and they'll do the gig, they get paid. I get it. I get it. But sometimes it's like that. If you can and you want to like put on a different
Yeah,
number, a
why
different
not?
wig, why not? No one's forcing you. You
Yeah,
know?
and I'll wear the same wig for a night of bingo, but I'll change outfits.
You
I'll step out of a dress and step into another one. Sure.
there's ways around, well, because drag is expensive. It's not cheap. We
Mm-hmm.
have to recycle our outfits, repurpose them. I'll add a new accessory, add a different wig. Like I'm known for my burgundy color. Like that's Karma's signature colors.
She
Like
loves the
yeah,
wine.
that red wine. And it's like I've that also use that as a staple for people to recognize me. Like what can I be remembered for? That's my power color. I feel like the most
Yeah.
powerful when I wear it, and that's what I'm known for. So it's like, yeah, if you see me wearing the same burgundy wig, it's because like that's literally like the Karma persona. Like Jinx Monsoon, for example, she wears that like
Oh yeah.
ginger colored wig, and yeah, she wears other wigs, but like her as that ginger color. Like Bendela Creme wears that black hair, like very
Yeah.
Michelle Visage. Like there's some girls like that's just their signature, and it's not like a level of like I don't have other wigs. That's not the issue. It's more like that's my signature. That's my staple.
Yeah. I was always really into that, like queens like Bianca Del Rio and Trixie that have like the signature face. I always
Mm-hmm.
wanted a face that was like, okay, this is my face. And
I
from
love your
across the
face.
street, you see it and you go, oh, that's Jordan. Because
That's
a
what I'm
lot of these
saying.
girls, girl, I will see a sea of drag queens and I'll be like, I know these girls.
Yeah.
But from 6 feet away, I couldn't tell you who any of them are.
And what's weird about that is like again, it's like standing out from the crowd. It's like I kind of going into drag had that same, you know, as an actor, you have to go to an audition and be like, how am I different? How am I better?
Yeah.
How do I get the role? How do I get the part? So when I started drag, I had that same mentality of like, how am I different and or better, or what do I have to offer that these girls aren't doing? Because um, it could be literally the same outfits, the same dance number, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, if that works for you and that's your brand, you literally just put on the same bodysuit and you dance, work. But I'm just not impressed by it anymore.
No, I don't it's not
It's not
memorable.
memorable. Yeah, and I
Unless
love the
you are
signature.
do you know Busted Queen from New York? Her
No,
name's Busted. Oh
busted.
bitch.
Basically.
She is so funny and
Uh-huh.
she like headlines P Town. Like she's a big deal. And
The
she wears the
work.
exact same outfit and exact same wig every single time. And they're both hideous. They're both horrible. And that's her
I
whole
mean,
vibe.
I love
Wait,
that. I have
I'm
to
gonna
see
show
this.
you. I'm gonna show you Busted.
Please. But that's what I'm
Cause
saying is like if you're gonna like I love someone who
wait.
leans into the joke. I love somebody who's into the bit. Like pull me
Oh
in. Like
yeah.
I want to be a part of that. But if you're not doing that, you're not giving me signature, you're not telling me who you are, then I'm like, why should I get invested in like I'm sure you're a great person. That's not what I'm saying. But as
Well,
far as your drag goes, We live in a materialistic world. We live in LA of all places. We are the most judgmental city.
So this is her feed. It's and she's incredible.
Oh my God. It's literally, I
It's
love
same.
it.
And
No
these are all her
notes.
flyers for her shows.
But that's what I'm saying is I love stuff like that. And like that's different. That's like they stand out because for all the wrong reasons, but probably all the best in the same way.
I mean,
I mean, like that's iconic. And I
yeah.
wish more girls would either know their identity and maybe sure it takes some time. Maybe it takes, a year or two. But if you're past 2 years in drag and you haven't elevated it anyway, your makeup hasn't gotten better, your wigs haven't gotten better, your outfits
Well,
haven't gotten better. And like sometimes I'll be shocked, like I'll watch these competitions and they're like, how long have you been doing drag? And they're like, 4 years. And I'm like, girl, 4 years. Oh my God. Like, how have you learned nothing? Anyway, I can go on and on about that.
yeah, I mean that was a big thing for me when I first started drag. I was like, how has this bitch been in drag for like 10 years and her eyebrows are still like that?
Like oatmeal.
The the word and just walking around taking money during a song that you don't even know the words to.
You chose the song. It's your mix.
I'm like, how are you working 5 nights a week?
Babe, there's this one girl, again, not saying names, T. She has done a couple competitions. Every time I have seen this person perform, they do this weird mush mouth like that. Don't know a single word of their own mixes. And I'm just baffled. I'm sitting here like, does no one see what I'm seeing? Is everyone just that like level of like drunk that they
Yeah.
don't see what I see?
Is she dancing
Anyway,
a lot?
no, 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 no. She doesn't even dance. Low energy, just moves around the stage. Brings a lot of people.
Oh,
It's a sight to see every
that's why
time I
she's
see them.
booked.
It's no, it's not even they're not because they're not booking other things. It's the competitions I'm talking about. Because competitions is for
Girl,
everybody.
the competitions are a scam and I do not
No, I
I don't
know.
I
And
don't
you know what
support that.
sucks is I'm so competitive. That's where they get me. They don't get me because I'm like, I'm the best. It's more, no, I have something to prove, you know? And I told you, I love reality competitions. So,
Same. I love like I mean I love Big Brother.
right, same.
Obsessed.
Watching it this season.
I want to do it. I would do Big Brother.
Oh my God, I can see you on Big Brother. I
I
would
want
love
to
to
do
see you
Big
on Big Brother.
Brother and I would just play like is it Nicole? The girl
I
this
love
season?
Nicole.
She's
I'm so
just
mad
so
they have not been giving her enough airtime. I want her to win. She's my winner.
No, I think she's doing this on purpose.
No, I love it. But I'm saying like as far as confessionals, like she almost gets like no
No.
confessionals too.
But I
That's why
think
I'm like
that
they did the same thing to Andy when he won his season. He almost had no confessionals the entire season.
but that's like that's
He
how
won.
people win because if you're like a Cameron
Mm-hmm.
and you're winning a bunch of competitions and
Yeah.
you got a lot of blood on your hands, even if
Yeah.
you do make it past the jury house, you're not gonna get votes because you eliminated so many people and you backdoored so
Yeah.
many people.
Yep. So many people are better boots.
So it pays to sort of throw a comp or two in the
I know,
beginning.
and that kills me to like have to do that. But like if it's the name of the game, don't get blood in your hands, sure. But we're talking about drag competitions though. So different. It's all
Yeah, it's not
politics and
real.
bringing
It's not
people
serious.
and well, because my issue is Tony Soto does this show, Learn the Words, bitch,
Oh
at
yeah,
Barnes. So like
yeah.
I just went yesterday and I won. Work little,
Slay.
we love competing. But the thing is, in WeHo, a lot of these competitions, they'll do these lip sync battles, and the girls don't know the words, and they still win. They don't know a single goddamn word of the song, and it's just so frustrating because I learn the words, bitch. They yell at you, and it's fun, and it's so great, and and those people don't win because they don't know the words. Not the same here in other competition settings.
No, because it's about bringing people and audience
Yes,
response.
and I get that
So
because like bringing people means money. Money means money for the bar. Yes, I absolutely get that, 100%. But you know what I want? I want to do a drag competition, like be a host or a judge. This reoccurring thing that happens every week or whatever. It could be a Tuesday because no one really does shows on Tuesdays. I want a point system. I want to see points. I want to see points on the look,
yeah,
points on like a visual number to know that like this person made like either like on a scale of 10 could be like performance based, look based, and audience response. And it could be three categories. It could be out of 10. And then the highest score would be like out of 30 points, right? And the
yeah.
best score you can get is 30. The worst you can get is zero. And so that way people have a visual number of what the judges think. And then the lowest two of the week, who had the worst look, worst performance, worst audience response, they can battle it out. And then if the girl who doesn't know the words, she can go home. Or obviously, if the other
Yeah.
person brought their friends. But then again, it's like, who wants that? I would love to see that. I love seeing statistics and numbers and
Oh, so what you want is
visual.
pageantry.
Well, not even pageantry in the sense. I don't need that like cordial, like, oh my God, world peace. I just mean like I want the everyone in the audience to be like, oh, I see the numbers. I see who's in the lead. I see who's not, who needs to do better. And I also think this would help the girls also get better,
Well, they
want to
would
get a
get the
higher
feedback
score.
at the end of the night,
Right.
and
And
it
but
would be
here's
helpful.
but the issue is a lot of these girls, what happens is they bring all their friends and everyone's like, yes, girl, you slayed. They don't get better. Their makeup doesn't get better. Their outfits don't get better. And what baffles me the most is these girls that leave the house, they don't take a second look at the mirror head to toe. Their outfit is ill-fitting. Their lumps, the lumpy padding, like so much can be corrected and fixed. And not a single one of your friends is telling you, hey girl, this doesn't look right. Like not one person. Those aren't your friends, baby.
No.
Sure, they're getting
Either
you
they
the win for
don't
the night, but
know or they just don't care. They just want you to feel good and they just want to lift you up.
and like I'm not here to tear people down. That's why I never ever give unsolicited advice, especially in drag. But if you're gonna come up to me and ask me how your makeup is, I'll tell you. If you're gonna tell me
Yeah.
how your outfit
Well,
is, I'll tell you. But otherwise, I'm not
it's
gonna
the
go out of
age
my
old
way.
you don't give another actor a note.
Exactly.
That's not
I,
your job.
exactly. And I'm like, I'm not being paid to make you better. That's your job. But if you genuinely, as a friend or as another entertainer, want to know, hey, like, what do you think about this? And you really want me to tell you, I'll tell you. But I'm not going to do it because, like, I want to tear you down and hurt your feelings. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, you know what? It's easier for me to just say nothing.
Or sometimes I'll
But
say, "Hey, do you want this hairspray? It'll help with this. I have this thing. Do you want to try it? It'll help with this."
see, I don't even do that because I feel like even if I were to do that, the way I painted, I look like a bitch.
You'd
People
be like,
think, oh, well, the pretty girl's a bitch. She's probably a bitch. Like, I don't want to give fuel to the fire for people to think that, oh, she's probably being shady. But it's like, no, I just really want to help you.
"Ooh." Yeah, I'm entering my pageantry phase because it
Ooh.
is very much like that where you're given a packet and it lists out everything, all the points, how you earn them, what's expected of you, and then you just go do it.
You know what's weird about that? I love that, but it's like, oh, I don't know, pageant isn't really my style. Isn't that weird?
I felt the same way,
So
but
how did you convince yourself that, like, yeah, I
you
don't feel
gotta
the same way, but
find,
now,
well, you gotta find the system that is for you.
right,
So I wanted to do Continental, but I
right.
realized I'm not that girl.
Yeah, those bitches are on another level.
Their Continental is they really part of their whole like and it's in their like their code of conduct that they give the contestants. Their whole thing is femininity, regalness,
You're
soft
just a
that
silly
like
little girl who wants to do a silly little number.
yeah,
And I love that about you.
I'm here with my eyebrows up here. They don't
No, and I
they don't
love it.
get
Like, here's the
that.
thing is, I think that your drag is so underrated in LA
Oh,
because,
thanks. Say it
well,
again.
every time I see you perform, your drag is so underrated.
Shut the fuck
No, but
up.
here the thing is because every time I see what you post and what you do, it's different. And that's why I resonate with what you do. I'm like, that's drag.
Oh,
And
thank
I,
you.
because I don't see other girls around here doing what you're doing. So I'm like, this bitch needs to be booked more. I want to do her shows.
Well, gag of the season is I used to really take a lot of personal self-worth out of me being booked in places like West Hollywood and these huge
Right.
places. And when I was booked there, you're not making any money. They're not treating you nicely.
Yeah, what's that about?
And I think now that I've sort of gotten out of the idea that it doesn't affect how I feel about myself
Mm-hmm.
because I'm out here doing my own thing and I don't need to go where I'm not wanted.
That's so true. It's like,
You know?
why am I taking pieces of myself to like appease these people that if I'm not for them, I'm not going to force myself on them.
Yeah, I'm not going out of my
Um,
way. I love doing the shows. I love the girls. Like if Nyx
Yeah.
calls me and says, "Hey girl, you want to do brunch?" I'm gonna drop everything because
Yeah.
I enjoy
I am
that.
doing brunch at beaches this Sunday, and I love
You
performing at beaches.
are.
Yes, it's one of my favorite places to perform. I'm not really a morning brunch girl. I'm a night girl, a lady of the night, if you
Same.
will. But I will do a brunch every once in a while because I actually I didn't like working at beaches for the people there were crazy, but
Well,
performing at beaches is so fun because I'm not working there. I'm just performing, doing
well,
a
I was
silly
gonna
little
ask
number.
about that. So you're not an employee there. Do the other? Is it weird for the other employees to have you like back? Like, is everybody
No,
cool?
because at the end of the day, I never try to leave a place on like bad terms. For me, my issue was scheduling issues because they
Oh,
would send a schedule out so late, and I'm an actor, and I was booking all these gigs, booked and blessed, and I was like, I can't keep saying no to these gigs because I don't know if I work or not. So
yeah.
I unfortunately decided to choose gigs over my schedule, and then they were like, we can't have you anymore. I'm like, that's fine, I'm choosing acting. And then I was able, because of that, I was able to join SAG. So
Now
cheers to
she's on
that.
strike,
And I'm on
honey.
strike now, a strike girly.
Striking.
So
Where's your
no,
little
they're,
picket sign?
yeah, I'm out there looking cute. Haven't found any daddies yet, it's fine. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I have such a good relationship with all the girls. That's why I do get booked. A lot of the younger queens would be like, how did you book this? And how did you book this? And it's like, well, one, professional. I'm very professional. I always show up. I'm always on time. I'm always early. I mean, yes, I live a block away now, but before I didn't. I don't cause drama on social media. I don't,
Girl.
it's like the ethics of like some people they speak before they think. And I again, I knowing as an actor, like, how do you not get blackballed? How do you, why? My thing is, a lot of these young girls, like, why should they book you? What are you doing? Do you show up to the shows? Do you support the shows? Do you post on social media? Like, it's not even about followers, even. It's about what are you doing that makes them want to book you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's that like theater background that a lot of I have to remind myself a lot of people aren't they're not lucky enough to have had that sort of
Right. The
experience.
training
So
and
they don't
yeah.
know.
What
And you
to, yeah.
can't tell them because then it becomes you're a bitch.
Yeah, and that's again something that I don't want to come off as. It's like I have built a great reputation of being like a nice person and in and out of drag. Like, you know me out of drag, you know me in drag, and I'm the same person essentially. Like, there's no need for me to like put on a persona and be like this mean cunty girl. And sometimes these drag queens, they get in full regalia and they just are the meanest people you've ever seen. And it's
It's
just like,
true. It's not
why?
cute.
No, I don't get it. Like, I get that drag can be an armor and you can be like more confident, but doesn't mean you have to be go out of your way to be mean. That's what I'll never understand. Like, reading and kikiing is fun and cute, but when you like are really like condescending and talking down on people, that I'll never understand. And I do see a lot of mistreatment like that behind the scenes, but
Oh yeah.
I don't get in other people's business. I don't insert myself and interject, but
I'll watch. I'll be like
yeah. Oh, baby, sipping on
brushing my hair
my
like
glass of wine, like just
oh, I'm outside in the front yard vacuuming the bush, listening to the neighbors argue. I'm that girl.
uh-huh. Oh, speaking of wine, I don't know if you know, I use on
Wine
my boy page.
Wednesdays? Is Wine
Yes,
Wednesdays coming back?
Yes, Wine Wednesdays is coming back, and I'm gonna bring guests. Since I live right here in WeHo and a lot of girls do the gigs, I want to start inviting girls over in
And they all
drag.
drink.
Exactly, and I want to do Wine Wednesdays with guests. So I would love to have you as one of my guests on Wine Wednesday.
Is there sober wine? Because I don't drink alcohol. Is that a
Oh no,
thing?
that's fine. Yeah, there is sober wine. There is absolutely,
I
and
didn't
we
know
can try
that.
some sober. Yeah, so I was sober for 18 months, and I about 8 or 9 months in, I had no vices. I wasn't having
You're like,
sex.
I was sober for 18 minutes. Worst 18 minutes of my
Yeah,
life.
yeah, and I've never done drugs in my life. Like, I've never, or I haven't even done
Oh,
poppers. That's how anti
really?
like. No, yeah, yeah. That's
Those are
how
so harmless.
I told you how vanilla I am. I
Just
don't do
don't
that.
drink them.
Right, right. That too.
Yeah, you're
But
not supposed to
basically,
drink them.
after like 9 months of being sober, I was like, let me find something that can like make me have that feeling, that placebo effect. And they make
Yeah.
alcohol-free wine, so I can totally do an alcohol-free wine for you, and then we can totally do a video, and it'll be cute, and then we
And
can
we
like
can
be like,
pretend to be wasted.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm wasted right now.
I like a cannabis infused anything. Those are
Oh, like the
great.
drinks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See,
Yeah, I
that's
love the
something I've
little
never done.
drinks. The little fizzy drinks, they're so good.
I've never even done CBD.
It's so fierce. I took an edible and went to my friend's house on Saturday, and we sat in his front yard because he has like an outdoor screen, and we watched movies, and it was great.
I love that.
It's really
See,
nice.
I love when you're just like taking things and just chilling and you're just not a care in the world. You're not trying to bother
Oh
anybody.
yeah, when me and Joey were in Hawaii, I took an edible, I think every single day because we weren't driving.
Right. And you're on vacation, you're having a good time. It's
Yeah. It's
harmless.
like, great, we got home from the beach. We're going to shower and go to dinner. I'm
Oh,
just going
I
to
love
take an
that.
edible and we're going to go for a walk and then go have dinner while I'm high. And it's going to be so fierce. And then we'll come home and watch movies till we fall asleep.
Live, laugh, love, lobotomy.
Lobotomy. Bottoming?
Yeah, that too.
There's also bottoming involved
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Yes or no?
Well, can you believe we've approached the end of the program?
I can, but I can't. You know.
It really just, you blink and it's over. Will you tell the people of the internet where they can find you?
So I am on Instagram at That's Karma. I don't know how I got that handle, but just call it fate. I don't have like a Twitter or anything for my drag, but I have my boy page too, my other one. But that's for
Oh.
secrets. But yeah, I'm That's Karma on Instagram. I post regularly. I post where my gigs are and my cute little reels, only if I want to, not because I have to. And that's
But
when
you don't
I'm.
show hole on Twitter, do you?
No, I don't. You have to pay for
Okay.
that.
Okay. That's fine.
But yeah, no, I will be bringing back Wine Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have some guests on that. And yeah, that'll be my new thing. So
Yay. Are you guys ready for my outro? This is my
yeah,
favorite
I
part.
am. I love it.
Okay. You can follow the podcast at Hey Girl Pod on Instagram. That's HEYGURLPOD. You can email the podcast at heygirlpod@gmail.com. You can send me an email and ask me for advice. You could send me like memes or nudes or I don't know, tell me a story. You can also call 424-431-1456 and leave me a voicemail. Say something really naughty. I don't know. Tell me like a fun sex story or something. I really like to know people's business because I can't seem to mind my own. You can follow me at Jordan Jayro everywhere. That's JordanJayro. You can follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. As always, I am taking a break from my mental health to focus on my social media. So if you could follow me, that would be great. Rate and review the podcast. Give me 5 stars. Write a nice review. Now we're on YouTube, so you can listen to the program on YouTube. And that's it. I feel like I got everything. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything.
That's it.
Solid.
Rock solid.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Well, any final thoughts before we part ways forever and ever and ever?
Never. I guess the only thing I have to say is vote, bitch.
Oh, vote, bitch. Oh yeah, the election's coming up in
Yeah.
November. It's the primary, right?
Yeah. Just
Oh
get
shit.
just for me, I'm very, very politically involved. And I hate talking to people that don't know what's going on at all. Like just learn something. Know what's
You
going
know
on.
what?
Like I guess ignorance is bliss, but just vote.
If all else fails, just go down the ballot and pick the Democrats and the women
Yeah,
and the people
yeah.
with
Mhm.
non-white names.
Yes.
Just do
That's all it
that.
needs. Just do that at least so we can get.
Oh yeah, I just got my little election reminder, but oh my god, we have less than a minute. Wow. Thank you so much for chatting.
Of
I'll
course.
see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, same.
Thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, have a fabulous life. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whee!
Did that.